A warm welcome to the newsroom. I am Fidelia Aguncha. One person has been confirmed dead with 4 others injured in a gas explosion which happened on Monday night at Alafia bus stop, Orile Gomu area of Lagos. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, identified the dead as one Ajibola Olaoye, a 35-year-old male artisan. According to a statement by LASEMA spokesperson Nusa Okombo, the explosion was attributed to a leak in the gas cylinder which the late victim was working with to weld a truck flatbed. The body of the deceased has been handed over to his family while security operatives have cordoned off the area. This is the 3rd fatal gas explosion in Lagos in 1 week. On July 29, 3 people were killed in a gas explosion in Ajao Estate, a day after 1 person was killed in a separate incident. The police have arrested 7 suspects involved in the robbery attack on a bullion van and the killing of 4 policemen in Ebonyi State. The arrests were made barely 5 days after the incident which happened last week Wednesday. Among those apprehended for the attack were 2 soldiers, 1 in acting service and the other dismissed. The operation was carried out by police detectives attached to the Intelligence Response Team IRT with support from the Technical Intelligence Unit TIU. According to the police, the suspects were perfecting a planned intended bank robbery in Asaba this week before they were apprehended. Nigeria's Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, says the Buhari administration will guard Nigeria's sovereignty as regards foreign loans. Malami said this in reaction to claims by federal lawmakers that some clauses in the country's loan deal with China concedes Nigeria's sovereignty to the Asian country. The House of Representatives Committee on Treaties and Agreement had particularly raised concern over Article 8, subsection 1 of the commercial loan agreement between Nigeria and China Export Bank, the Export Bank of China. The clause in question provides that, quote, the borough, which is Nigeria, hereby irrevocably waives any immunity on the grounds of a sovereign or otherwise for itself or its property in connection with any arbitration proceedings pursuant to Article 8, subsection 5 thereof with enforcement of any arbitral award pursuant thereto, except for the military asset and diplomatic asset. But in an interview with This Day, Malami said the sovereignty being waived could be as relating to a contractual obligation. The federal government says it spent more than 500 million naira to feed pupils during the lockdown imposed to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Sadiya Omar Farouk, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, disclosed the sum at the Presidential Task Force briefing on COVID-19 in Abuja on Monday. According to the minister, the clarification became necessary to clear the air over speculations regarding how the federal government disbursed funds for the program at a rate of 4,200 naira per family, and with 124,589 households impacted, a sum of 523.2 million naira was spent on the program. According to the minister, the implementation was done in line with the March 29 presidential directive and was implemented between May 14 and July 6, and each family was assumed to have 3 children. Joseph Thelama Dawa, a former group managing director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), is dead. In a statement on Monday, Mele Kyari, NNPC GMD, said Dawa died after a brief illness. In 2014, former President Goodluck Jonathan appointed Dawa to replace Andrew Yakubu. Before he was appointed GMD, Dawa served as the Group Executive Director, Exploration and Production of the corporation. Dawa's death is coming about 2 months after Meikanti Baru, the immediate past NNPC GMD, died. We'll take a break here to bring you more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. For the second consecutive day, the number of COVID-19 infections in the country hit a record low as the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, confirmed 288 new cases. The agency confirmed the new cases in 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, on Monday night. The new figure of positive samples is the lowest in over 2 months. The number of recoveries recorded a significant increase, with 355 people discharged on Monday compared to the 221 recoveries for Sunday. This brings the total number of recoveries in the country to 20,663. 8 new deaths were, however, recorded in the last 24 hours to push the fatality toll to 896. President Muhammadu Buhari has donated 67 million naira worth of personal protective equipment to aid the fight against COVID-19 in Sao Tome and Principe. Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, disclosed this on Monday during a briefing by the PTF in Abuja. This donation follows a request by the government of Sao Tome seeking aid to help the country effectively manage the coronavirus, which is ravaging the world. Medical equipment donated include units of test kits, extraction kits, infrared thermometers, and other items of personal protective equipment to treat and test thousands in the country.
Mr. President made a donation of 67 million naira worth of PPEs and medical supplies to the government and people of Sao Tome and Principe. In the same vein, hopefully, the goods that were procured by the West African Health Organization and brought in to the hub in Abuja here, we would start with the support of the Nigerian Air Force under the instructions of the President, start the distribution of these items on Wednesday to the different West African countries.
The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, are currently working out the guidelines and protocols for the forthcoming elections in Nigeria. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the PTF on COVID-19, made this known on Monday in Abuja. The SGF also revealed that the PTF would submit its 6th interim report to President Muhammadu Buhari. According to him, subject to the President's approval, the report would be presented with a way forward to Nigerians at the next briefing on August 6.
The national response would continue to guide the adoption of sector-specific guidelines and protocols, just as the PTF is currently concluding discussions with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on appropriate guidelines to be adopted for elections, beginning with the August 8th by-election in Nasarawa State, to be followed by those of Edo and Ondo States gubernatorial elections in September and October, respectively. I therefore wish to use this opportunity to implore party leaders, aspirants, members, and supporters to remain mindful of the virulent nature of COVID-19 during electioneering campaigns and other election processes. We need to remain alive to enjoy the benefits of our democracy. The Presidential Task Force will submit its 6th interim report to Mr. President. And subject to his approval, we hope to present the way forward to Nigerians at the next briefing on Thursday, 6th August 2020.
The World Health Organization, WHO, says it has completed the groundwork in China to probe the origin of the new coronavirus. WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus, who revealed this during a press briefing in Geneva, warned that there might never be a silver bullet for COVID-19.
Most people remain susceptible to this virus, even in areas that have experienced severe outbreaks. Over the past week, we have seen several countries that appeared as though they were past the worst, now contending with fresh spikes in cases. However, We have also seen how some countries, regions, or localities that had a high number of cases are now bringing the outbreak under control. It's not easy, of course. Strict measures may cause their own problems for delivery of essential health services, the economy, and societies overall. The committee acknowledged that member states have tough choices to make to turn the epidemic around. But they were also clear that when leaders step up and work intensely with their populations, this disease can be brought under control. We learn every day about this virus, and I'm pleased that the world has made progress in identifying treatments that can help people with the most serious forms of COVID-19 recover. The committee recommended that countries engage in the Access to COVID-19 Tools Act Accelerator, participate in relevant clinical trials, and prepare for safe and effective therapeutics and vaccine introduction. A number of vaccines are now in phase 3 clinical trials, and we all hope to have a number of effective vaccines that can help prevent people from infection. However, there is no silver bullet at the moment, and there might never be. For now, stopping outbreaks comes down to the basics of public health and disease control.
Let's take a break here to bring you more stories. Welcome back. Supermarket retailer ShopRite has clarified that it is not leaving Nigeria, but rather expanding its business in the country. The South African retailer in a memo explained that the recent expansion move of the company would create room for more Nigerian investors who share in its vision. According to the company, the move became important so as to unlock the potentials in the West African nation's retail business, explaining that the best way to do so is by involving local investors. Indian authorities have imposed a curfew in Kashmir a day ahead of the first anniversary of India's controversial decision to revoke the disputed region's semi-autonomy. Officials announced a 2-day full curfew on Monday, citing intelligence reports of looming protests in the Muslim-majority region of 7 million people, where locals have called for the anniversary to be marked as a Black Day. Police vehicles patrolled the main city in Srinagar after dark on Monday and again on Tuesday morning, with officers using megaphones to order residents to remain indoors. New razor wire and steel barricades have also been placed on major roads in the city. Queen's Park Rangers have turned down a bid in excess of €12 million from Crystal Palace for Eberechi. QPR had initially hoped to receive €20 million for the 22-year-old, but it happens to be that Palace's bid was significantly lower, around €12 million plus add-ons. He scored 14 goals in 46 appearances in the Sky Bet Championship for QPR this season, as the Hopes finished 13th in table. However, West Bromwich Albion, West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur are also interested in the England under-21 attacker. The 22-year-old signed a 3-year deal with QPR in 2018, which runs until June 2021. And that's the latest from the newsroom at this hour. Many thanks for watching.